In a world where information flows instantly across continents, it's hard to imagine a time when people relied on letters that could take days, weeks, even months to arrive. But one invention changed everything: the telephone. The invention that would go on to connect us all. Before the telephone, communication over long distances was slow, unreliable, and limited. People depended on handwritten letters or messages carried by couriers. If there was urgent news, there was no guarantee it would reach its destination in time. But in the mid-19th century, inventors began dreaming of a different way to communicate, one that could transmit voices, not just written words, across great distances. Enter Alexander Graham Bell. Born in 1847, Bell was not initially focused on inventing the telephone. His early work was in the field of sound and speech, largely inspired by his deaf mother and wife. But through his experiments with sound transmission, Bell began to explore the possibility of transmitting human speech electrically. It was March 10, 1876, when Bell made history. With his assistant, Thomas Watson, by his side, Bell spoke the now famous words, "Mr. Watson, come here. I want to see you." And for the first time in history, a human voice was successfully transmitted over a wire. But Bell wasn't the only one racing to bring this technology to life. Others, like Elisha and the Italian inventor Antonio Meucci, were working on similar devices. Meucci, in fact, had created a device called a teletrofono years earlier, though he lacked the resources to secure a patent. The invention of the telephone is a story filled with competition and controversy. In 1876, Bell was granted the first patent for the telephone, beating Elisha by just a few hours. This moment marked the beginning of a revolution that would reshape society. The telephone began to transform society at an unprecedented pace. Businesses thrived with instant communication. Families and friends who lived far apart could now hear each other's voices. Entire industries grew around this new technology, from telephone manufacturing to operators managing switchboards. It wasn't just the speed of communication that changed. The telephone began to alter the way people lived and worked. No longer bound by geography, cities expanded, commerce flourished, and ideas could be shared with the speed of a conversation. From the rotary phone to the smartphone in your pocket, the telephone has evolved dramatically. The invention that began as a simple device for voice communication has grown into a tool that connects billions of people globally. Today, we use our phones for far more than talking. Texting, emails, video calls, social media, and even virtual reality are all extensions of Bell's original vision. The telephone revolutionized not just communication, but how we interact with the world. The telephone laid the groundwork for the globalized world we live in today. It shrunk distances, created new economies, and transformed the way we understand time and space. Whether through personal conversations or billion-dollar business deals, the telephone has fundamentally shaped the way we live, work, and connect with one another. The once novel idea of transmitting voices across wires evolved into an indispensable part of our lives, a tool for both the everyday and the extraordinary. And as technology continues to evolve, so does our ability to communicate. From 5G networks to quantum communications, the future of connection seems limitless. Yet it's all thanks to that first step taken in 1876 by visionaries like Bell, who believed in a world where voices could travel across the globe in an instant. The telephone truly is the invention that connected us all. If you enjoyed this dive into history, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more stories about the inventions that shaped our world.